Hello. Uh, Now we continue from the mathematical formulation using Pyomo. We have learned something about how to create the equations, the models, and then we have like data, right? In our previous video. And now suppose that there will be um, um, many problems, similar problems using basically the same mathematical formulation. So and then they will be using different set of data because they are all basically different problems, just like they are all formulated the same way. Say for example, um, if we then define that from the concrete to an abstract, what I call like abstract model, so we separate the model from the data, as we will see in a minute. Say for example, this one, the objective function is then the summation of all products that are sold, right? Of all products that are sold. So the more the products that are sold, the more profitable you're gonna be. So that's basically the same in all cases. And then there are constraints, like for example, the amount of workers, the total amount of workers should be less than or equal to the available number of workers, right? So it should be less than or equal to the number of available workers. And and then the other constraint is that the raw material A, summations of all raw materials A that are used for every product, right? So say one product using one raw material A, and then product two is using yeah, some number of raw material A. If we sum them all, it should be less than or equal to the maximum raw material A. The same goes with the raw material B. So the amount of raw material B being used in all products will be less than or equal to the maximum number of raw material B. And then we know for sure that all products, every product Xi, every product I should be always positive. Yeah. So in this particular case, in the above, in the above where we have like four products and then the three constraints, we will then be using same four products, one, two, three, four, and then x is then our independent variables where it is how many product I is being produced. So how to make this concrete, abstract model? So we simply from pyomo.environment import everything, and then we can then define m or model equals to the abstract model, right? And then we define the set. Now this is the difference. So we define the sets. So m dot product, so all the products, which then is a set. Um, and then we define also the parameters. So or the variables, basically. So the objective function, we call it untung here. The profit. Yeah, so the profit is then based on product 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So we say that it's a param and then m per product, and then the workers as well is also depending on which product that they are working on, right? So every workers for each product. The same goes with the raw material A and then raw material B. So all of these will be as functions of the product. So we have profit 1, 2, 3, 4, workers 1, 2, 3, 4, raw material A 1, 2, 3, 4, raw material B 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the maximum number of workers, it is like a constant parameter. So it's param, you open and close brackets. Same goes like maximum raw material A and raw material B. These three are like constants because you know how many that they are going to be used. And then we then define the independent variable. So free independent variable, which is then the amount of product, the amount of what equals to a variable, because there's no longer a parameter, right? So this is a variable, and then indexed by the product. So this product, and then this is also a non-negative real numbers. So this guy is basically this thing, and then we define the product for every product 1, 2, 3, 4 later on. It is as a function of the set, right? So this is at this point in time we just defined the sets, right? Like this 1, 2, 3, 4, the I, set I, and then the parameters. So this parameter is then these three constants, and then the amount, how many workers per product, and how many raw materials A per product, how many raw materials B per product. So these are the parameters, and then the variables is then the amount of the X, then the amount of product being produced. So we can just simply control enter. Now we define the objective function. So objective function is then the the profits as a function of P, and then as a set of using set of P, and then multiply by the number of products being produced, right? So for P in all of these M dot product, which is the set, right? So for all product in that in this set, we will then do this, and then we will then sum them. That makes the objective function. So like this. So we number of products, and then profit per product, and then we sum them. That makes the objective, right? Number of product, profit per product, and then we sum them. And then we define this as the objective, right? We define it as objective, we name it, and then we define it as objective, and then the rule is then so the equation is this definition, and then the sense is to maximize, because we need to specify this as a maximize. Uh, enter. And then the same goes with the constraint. So say for example the maximum number of worker equals to for every product P, we need to know multiply by the number of workers that we know, and then we sum them, and then we do this for all product, and then we sum them, and they have to be less than or equal to the maximum number of workers. So this is then the number of workers, maximum number of workers, which is this guy, less than or equal to is this thing, and then this is then the number of products produced, which is this thing, and for every P in this product, and then how many workers per product. So that's this guy, and then we sum them, like in this case, and then we define it as a constraint. We define it as a constraint, yeah, as opposed to objective, because this is constraint, and then we name it like this limit of workers, basically. So we input that guy in, and then the same goes with the constraint A. Yeah, you can read this through, and then constraint B. So up until now we have defined one objective function and then three constraints equations. So one objective function and then 1, 2, 3 constraint. So it's 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 if we compare this to the previous model, so we know that this is the objective function and then 1, 2, 3 constraints. But in this case, we put already the constants, like in this case 1, 1, 1, 1 is then 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. But this one we haven't defined what the parameters are, right? Now the next step is then to put the data. So now we know, so this product is a set, right? So this product is a set. So this product is a set. So we define there are like 4 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the profit is then for product 1, right? Profit is 20. For product 2, profit 12. For product 3, profit is 40. And for product 4, profit is 25. And then the workers for product 1, the workers is 1. For product 2, the worker is 1. For product 3, the worker is 1. For product 4, the worker is 1. So all 1. And then raw material A, and so on and so forth, yeah. So material B, for product 1 it needs 3A, for product 2 it needs 2A, for product 3 it needs 1A, for product 4 there is no raw material A required. The same goes with raw material B, and then this is then the maximum number of worker 50, raw material A 100, raw material B maximum is 90. So if we put that number in, so we then define the equations, the constraints, objective functions, and then the data. And then how do we know that we are making these equations, basically, right? Because this is then the actual equations that are going to be solved. So how do we know that? We typically create this instance, right? Create instance, and then we print the instance, right? Instance.print, and when we print it, and then we get this. So we have the set, which is the product. Alright, so it's there are 4 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items in the set. And then now there are 7 parameters that we declare and then this is then the using index of product. So we say for raw material A, 1 equals to 3, right? So raw material A, 1 is 3, 2 is 2, 3 is 1, 4 is 0. So 2 is 2, 3 is 1, 4 is 0. Raw material B as well. And then the constraint A, sorry, maximum raw material A, maximum raw material B, or maximum workers. And then this is then the profits for each of the product. And then this is then the variables that we declare. So there are four variables, right? All of them non-negative real number, index of products, and then the equations is basically this. So we have the objective function. So 20 times product 1 plus 12 times product 2 plus 40 times product 3 plus 25 times product 4. Are they the same? Yeah, hopefully they are the same, right? If we go back to them, so 20 to 1, 12 to 2, and 40 to 3, and then 25 to 4. So that's basically the same, so we are okay. The same goes with the constraint A for raw material A. So this is then the equation. Yeah, and then this is then the equation for raw material B, NT, and then this is then the number of workers, right? So this is correct equations, and then we can just simply do the same thing. So we call the solver, we solve it, and then we print the results out. So that's basically the same 1900 to the previous results, right? 1900, and then this is product 1 is 5, no product 2 45, and then no product 4. So the same thing again. So 5, 45 to product 3, and then no product 2 and product 4. So so that's it. How we can then create make from concrete model to the abstract model. So the goal is then to make sure that we can use the abstract model to all kinds of problems as long as they have the same mathematical formulations as we do it now. So what we just need to do is simply, once we define the equations and we put in the number, and then we can just simply create reprint. So to see whether the equations are correct or not, we can do so for per constraints, meaning once we define all of these parameter sets and then variable, we can just put in the data and then add one constraint at a time, and then use print to see whether we are creating the correct equations or not. Yeah, I think that's all for today. So thank you.